Very good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime News. You're with me, Sarah Fonseca. First, we'll take a look at headlines. Government and opposition politicians speak on the bond scam. Religious observances held around the country in line with Nikini Poya. Agriculture contribution to production economic drops to 8%. Pakistan national arrest at BIA along with stash of heroin. Today marks Nikini Full Moon Poya Day.
Nikini Full Moon Poya Day is of special significance for Buddhists due to a number of incidents that took place on this day. Based on the teachings of Lord Buddha, the bhikkhus who could not commence the Vas period on Asala Full Moon Poya Day start observing Vas or Pasuvas on the Nikini Full Moon Poya Day. The Nikini Poya Day also celebrates the first ever Dhamma School, the first Buddhist council held under the patronage of King Ajasat at the Rajagaha Nuwara. Attainment of Arahatship by the Buddha's chief attendant, Ananda Mahathero, also took place on the Nikini Full Moon Poya Day. The construction of the Seruvila Mangala Chaitya, where the Lalata relics of the Lord Gautama Buddha has been laid, also commenced on the Nikini Full Moon Poya Day.
The final Randoli Perahera of the Temple of Sacred Tooth will take to the street tonight.
The final Randoli Perahera will commence at the auspicious time of 7:53 p.m. today. The Perahera will then proceed along Dalada Vidya, Hill Street and Rajavidya before returning to the Temple of the Tooth Relic.
The Velayudam that travelled from the historic Selva Sannidhi Kovil in Jaffna arrived at Katharagama Devalaya this morning. The Velayudam, which was placed at the premises of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited Department of Katharagama aboard a grand procession last evening.
Following its departure from the premises of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, the procession arrived at the Kadireshan Kovil in Hambantota at around 10 p.m. yesterday and was welcomed by thousands of pilgrims who had gathered at the location. A special puja was held this morning for the students who are to sit the Grade 5 scholarship examination. Thereafter, the procession departed for Katharagama. The procession reached the sacred grounds of Katharagama at around 10 this morning. The procession, which initially arrived at the Valliamma Kovil in Katharagama, then made its way to the Katharagama Mahadevalaya in a grand, colourful procession.
Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed in the political arena with regard to the central bank bond scandal.
A minister of this government was involved in the bond scam. The Presidential Commission has revealed that the finance minister was involved and it also received the support of the Prime Minister. When we were investigating, we only found out about Arjuna Mahendran and his son-in-law. The Presidential Commission, however, revealed that the finance minister had received a bribe. Usually thieves are afraid of the police. However, the politicians of this country who steal public funds are not afraid of the police. They say they have no idea about it or don't know anything when it is very clear to the entire nation. How on earth can they make such statements?
The people have already decided on whether or not the UNP is a party of thieves. The thieves in the UNP will no longer be able to remain in the party. This situation has come about because of public opinion. We will be able to clearly observe how these thieves behave in the coming weeks.
Ranil Wickremesinghe recently imported 2 cars valued at over 599.3 million rupees. Both sides involved in fraud and corruption have trapped our country in a great debt burden. In the meantime, Mahinda Rajapaksa says that he will not vote for the no-confidence motion. Later on the same day, he says that he will do it. Why? He remembered that if he raised his hand for this no-confidence motion, the investigations regarding his wife Cyrilia account and Namal's Hellocorp deals, Yoshita's Dehiwala lands, Basil's Malvana house, Gothabia's Madamulana memorial will all come around.
Individuals involved in the bond scam, regardless of position, should be punished. Those involved in fraud and corruption should be put behind bars. The mandate given by the people in January 2015 should be honoured. The politicians should be afraid of engaging in such acts. This should be the message.
The Newsfirst national campaign Sri Lanka against corruption is currently active in the areas of Ratnapura and Mana. The northbound team toured the areas of Talemana, Pesale and the Mana Island to create awareness among the public. We are now joined by the Newsfirst Stephanie Lazarus, who is in Mana, for an update of the campaign.
Against corruption campaign, I'm aboard a bus that's going towards Erikalampiti, and as you can see, there are numbers of people getting in the bus, and people were given out these leaflets, which they will be filling out later on in order to give it to us so that we can put it in those boxes. People were educated about the corrupt government, the corrupt parliament, and also the politicians. Today we are making a change. People have their hopes and dreams pinned on every bit of these leaflets, and we were able to see and hear the stories, harrowing stories of these people in the town of Mana, and also we will be going to the rural-most parts of the Mana district later on. I will keep you posted as and when things unfold here in the district of Mana. For the Newsfirst team, this is Stephanie Lazarus signing off.
The southbound team was actively campaigning to create awareness in and around Balangoda today.
ඕනම දූෂණ ක්‍රියාවක යෙදෙන දූෂිත පුද්ගලයෙක් තව දුරටත් ඉන්න ඕනද එපාද කියන තීරණය තමයි ඔබ ඉදිරියේ තියෙන්නේ.
Former Turkish Prime Minister Ahmed Davutoglu, who is currently touring in Sri Lanka, visited the Mahanayaka of the Malvadu Cap chapter, the most venerable Tibbatwe Sri Sumangala Thero, last evening.
Sri Lanka is a good example of inter-religious dialogue and community, good community relations.
Yes, I'm කතා කරනකොට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ගැන ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරන්නේ මේ ආගම් අතර තියෙන සංහිඳියාවට හොඳ උදාහරණයක් තියෙන රටක් කියලා තමයි හිතන්නේ.
And මේ ගම්වල තියෙන සමගියෙන් ඉන්නවා ඒ ජාතීන් අතර සමගිය තියෙන.
Even though at the village level there is lots of bond between the communities.
That's very important. If you have good relations,
but it's the politicians who are destroying that bond.
Exactly. Therefore, we have to teach politicians.
අපි දේශපාලනට උගන්වන්න ඕනේ කියලා.
Spiritual teaching.
He's saying when people like educated people like you get into politics, that's a good example.
Former Minister Imtiaz Bakir Makar also participated at the discussion. Thereafter, the Mahanayaka Thero presented a token to the former Turkish Prime Minister.
The annual prize-giving ceremony and the 75th anniversary of the BJ's Dhamma School in Burala was held yesterday.
Minister of Justice and Buddha Sasana Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, Deputy Speaker Tilanga Sumati, Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara and Western Provincial Councillor Jayant De Silva were present at the event. The power and the law of nature exceeds everything. No matter how powerful one can be or how powerful the legal system could be, nothing can exceed nature. Therefore, if one can live while doing good deeds with our body, soul and words and bring strength to one another, they will gain a special kind of rays. These cannot be seen, but they will bring vitamins and minerals for both the body and the soul.
Vitamins සහ khaniज ලවණ මොනවටද? හිතට සහ ගතට. ඔගේ අවුරුදු 20ක 30ක කාලය තුල අපි ආපස්සට හැරිලා බැලුවොත්
If we look back at the past 20 to 30 years, as governments of this country, we've mainly established police stations, prisons and courts. This is not a characteristic of a developing country. This is a characteristic of a gradually declining country. So it is time to regenerate and develop the Dhamma School system in Sri Lanka.
අපිට ඉහළට ගෙනියන්න.
More in local news now. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, B. Vijayaratna, says the contribution from the agriculture sector to the country production economy has dropped from 28% to 8%.
The Ministry of Agriculture receives the highest amounts of funds from the Treasury, second only to the Ministry of Education. However, the Ministry of Agriculture has had to face a number of obstacles. We have not received proper rainfall for 3 consecutive seasons, and currently we are suffering because of the drought. At present, less than half of the paddy fields in the country are being cultivated. Therefore, a problem lies with regard to the supply of paddy seeds for the Maha season. However, I greatly appreciate the dedication of all the farmers and their contribution towards maintaining and cultivating their paddy lands. The contribution of agriculture to the production economy, which was at 28%, has now dropped to between 8 and 10%. We need to raise this figure up to 28% once again, but as a first step, our target should be 15%.
The Sri Lanka Customs has arrested a suspect with a stock of heroin worth 3.7 million rupees at the Bandar Nayaka International Airport. According to the custom media spokesperson Sunil Jayaratna, a Pakistani national who arrived in the island from Bangkok, Thailand, has been arrested. Jayaratna said that 376 grams of heroin was discovered in the possession of the suspect.